Proverbs 24, verses 33 and 34 says, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man." Verse 33 presents the character being discussed. The guy likes to sleep, not the guy who sleeps after a long, hard day at work and then wakes up ready to go back to work in the morning. But the guy who slept all night and then wants to lay around watching TV and playing on the internet and playing video games and napping off and on all day with no attempt at hard work. He's a mooch. He might work an unskilled job in some part-time, fast food or something for a little money, but he relies on his parents and mooches off of other friends and family so that he can lay around and do nothing with all that time on his hands. He doesn't help out much around the house. He doesn't do many chores. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. Don't be that guy. And he's not a happy person. His life is pointless. He has no purpose. He's accomplished nothing to be satisfied with or to gain any sense of accomplishment from. People don't respect him. And he's the kind of guy that ends up a lot of times homeless or living in some sort of shanty, in a bug-infested, run-down shack or a dilapidated trailer, or as Matt Foley would say, living in a van down by the river. The writer of this proverb warns, "So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man." And we discussed this actually 5 years ago in our devotional on Proverbs chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. And that's just a way of saying that your poverty will hit you suddenly and swiftly as one that travelleth, and you'll be unable to resist it. It'll be like a thief holding a gun to your head. In other words, you may get away with laziness and being a mooch for a while, maybe even for years, but one day poverty will hit you fast and hard and you'll be unprepared for it. I've actually dealt with people and watched this whole process unfold. They believe that when the time comes, they'll be able to get a job and they'll work hard, but it doesn't work out that way. One man I knew was enabled by his parents to work unskilled jobs, and most of the time part-time, and he'd pay a little token amount of rent there at the home. He laid around sleeping and living like a recluse and wasting of his life with video games, TV, and movies. This was before the internet was a big deal. His dad, first I think his mom died, and then later his dad died, so they're both gone. And the checks stopped coming in, and he was stuck. He couldn't pay the bills. He tried to marry some woman and hoping she would take care of him. That turned out disastrous. And within a few years, he had traveled around, got strung out on drugs on a way to escape his misery, and he was found dead of an overdose. And that story's been told many thousands of times over just in my lifetime right here in America. And this has spiritual application as well. A Christian may work hard, pay your bills, have a family, or at least take care of yourself, and take care of life in that sense. But if you're spiritually lazy, you're not in an active relationship with God, you don't spend time in His Word, you don't pray, you're always too busy, you don't attend a local church or engage with an online fellowship if there's no local church available to you. If you're not giving of your time and giving of your money to help support the ministry and get the gospel of Jesus Christ out to a lost world, your spiritual life will cave in on you. You'll hit spiritual poverty. It'll happen suddenly, and you'll be totally unprepared, and you'll want God to give you a quick fix. I call it soap opera religion, where everything falls apart and suddenly you get religious and start praying and ask God into your life. It doesn't work that way, and you've been warned. Paul wrote in 1 Thessalonians 5, 6 through 8 to Christians. He says, "Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation."